Hello students, today we are going to do The Merchant of Venice Act 3 Scene 1 Part 1. This scene prepares audience for the tragic element to be introduced in the play. Antonio's ships are said to have run aground. His losses are so heavy that he would not be able to pay back the loan. Shylock, distracted by his daughter's elopement, her spendthrift nature, and taunted by Salanio, makes a powerful speech about common universal humanity. Now, this speech is very famous one and a very important one from both's point of view. Tubal confirms the news of Antonio's losses and Shylock takes comfort in revenge. So let us begin. This scene takes place in Venice on a street, and Salanio and Salarino are discussing something. Salanio, now what news on the Rialto? Rialto is the stock market of Venice. So he's asking him, Salanio is asking Salarino, what is the news in the stock market of Venice? Now here they are talking about a rumor that is taking rounds in Venice, and that is Antonio's ship has been wrecked. So here Salarino says, why? Yet it lives there unchecked. Yet it lives there means there is still a rumor, and unchecked means undenied. So there is a rumor and nobody has denied it or contradicted it. That Antonio hath a ship of rich lading wrecked on the narrow seas. The Goodwin, I think they call the place. So where Antonio's ship has been wrecked, it has been wrecked at Goodwin's. Now this is a place. It is called the Goodwin Sands near the mouth of Thames, the scene of many shipwrecks. It's in London and many ships have been wrecked over there. Lading means cargo. A very dangerous flat and fatal where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried. This means Goodwin's is a very dangerous place. Fatal means dangerous and flat means sandbank. Where the carcasses of many a tall ship, tall here means majestic, big ships, lie buried. So that means many ships have been wrecked at this place. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. Now here, Salarino is wishing that it should be a gossip, like a talkative woman who always spreads rumors. Here, children, gossip is being personified as a woman who is talkative, a talkative woman who spreads rumors. Salanio, I would she were as lying a gossip in that as ever napped ginger, or made her neighbors believe she wept for the death of a third husband. Now here, Salanio is wishing that the gossip or the rumor is a lie, and he is comparing it to a woman who has wept for her third husband's death. A woman who has married thrice, so she will not cry the way she has cried the first time for the death of the first husband. She would not cry so much as she has cried for the death of the second husband. So she's just putting on an act to make her neighbors believe that. So he's just wishing that this gossip is just like a woman who's actually, putting on. I would means I wish. And gossip is used here for the old women. And napped means chewed. In Elizabethan times, old people used to eat ginger to aid digestion. But it is true, without any slips of proximity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, Oh, that I had a little good enough to keep his name company. So he means here, but it is true. So he's saying, but without beating around the bush, I want to tell you it is true. Without any slips of proximity or crossing the plain highway of talk means, without getting into long and boring speeches, without beating around the bush. The honest Antonio, he's praising Antonio here now. Oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company. Now, what is he doing? He's beating around the bush by giving him titles. Honest Antonio. He's giving him adjectives. Adjectives that are worthy of being added to his name. So that this line tells you that they think highly of Antonio. Salarino, come, the full stop. Now he's asking him to stop whatever you are saying. End your unnecessary story and come to the point he's asking him. Solanio, what says though why the end is he hath lost the ship? He's saying, okay, you want me to come to the end of the topic. You want the substance of the topic. That means it is that he has lost the ship. Salarino, he says, I would it might prove the end of his losses. Now he being a friend, what does he want? He wishes. I would here means I wish that it was the end of his losses. He does not have any more losses again. As in the recent times, Antonio has had many losses, so he wishes for this. Salanio, let me say amen be times, lest the devil cross my prayer, for he comes in the likeness of a Jew. So he means, let me say amen immediately to that prayer before the devil is able to hear it, for here comes the devil in the form of Jew. Now they are calling Shylock. Jew is Shylock, and they are calling him a devil. Now here amen is said at the end of Christian prayers, and then one makes the sign of a cross. Solanio says amen as he sees Sherlock to end his prayer, and then puns on the meaning of cross, as if the devil crosses during prayer and it loses all the meaning. That means when they say a prayer at the end, they have to say amen immediately. If there is a little difference between their prayer and amen, then they do not get blessed for it. So here, that's why Salanio says, let me say amen as soon as possible, so that my prayers are answered. Otherwise, if the devil is seen, my prayer will not be answered. Enter Shylock. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants? So now Shylock enters here, and Salanio asks him, how are you now? What is the news that you have got from the merchants? So they know very well that Shylock will keep track about Antonio because he wants to take revenge. So that's the reason they ask him, what is the news? Sherlock, you knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight. Now here, Sherlock is very agitated by his daughter's elopement. So he says that you two were the ones who knew very well about my escaping or elopement of my daughter. So he's accusing them. Here, when Shylock says of my daughter's flight, here there is a metaphor used here. Jessica is compared to a bird that flew from Shylock. Salarino, that's certain I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal. So Salarino says here, yes, I do accept it. I knew the tailor that had made the wings that she flew withal. That means that tailor that made her dress to be disguised as a page boy. Or there could be another meaning to it, that it could have been Lorenzo who took her away with him. Those wings could have been referred to Lorenzo. And even the tailor that helped, as being Lorenzo, that helped Jessica to elope. And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledged, and then it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam. Here, Salanio says that Shylock also knew that the bird, that is Jessica, so Jessica has been compared to a bird, was ready to fly. Why? Because she had grown up. Like birds, when they have wings, they know how to fly, they never return back to their nest. So, likewise, even Shylock knew that Jessica was ready to fly, that Jessica was, ready to get married and go away. She was a big girl now. And then it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam. Dam is the mother. So it is the complexion, it is their nature. Complexion means nature for them to leave and go away. As it is customary for the girls to go when they are in the age of getting married. Sherlock, she's damned for it. Now Sherlock is very angry, so he says she's damned for doing whatever she has done. That's certain if the devil may be her judge. Salanio says, yes, that is sure. She will be damned for it. Why? Because devil is her judge. Devil is being pointed out to Shylock. If devil is the judge, then definitely she is going to be damned. My own flesh and blood to rebel. So Shylock is saying she's my own flesh, my blood, my daughter, and she's rebelling against me. He's not ready to accept that. Salarino, there's more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. Here jet is black and ivory is white. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. So he's saying Shylock is red wine, that is the cheap common wine, and Rhenish wine is the expensive white German wine. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio has had any loss at sea or no? So Salarino is confirming from Shylock that whether he has heard about Antonio incurring any loss at the sea, has his ships been wrecked or not? Shylock, there I have another bad match. Now here, match means a bargain. A bankrupt, a prodigal, who dare scarce show his head on the Rialto. Now Shylock is very angry with what has happened. Another bad match is being referred to Antonio, a bankrupt. Who is a bankrupt? Why does he say another? First, his daughter has run away with his money, and now he's referring to Antonio, who has lost, whose ships have been wrecked. So bankrupt here, bankrupt, a prodigal. Prodigal is referred to a spendthrift, that is Antonio. Usually before this it was referred to Bassanio. Please pay attention, here it is referred to Antonio. Who dare scarce show his head on the Rialto. So he's saying who dare show his face, he should not come to Rialto. A beggar is being referred to Antonio again. That was used to come so smug. So smug means so much self-satisfied upon the mart. Mart means the stock exchange, that is Rialto. Let him look to his bond. That means let him take care of his bond. Now that's a warning coming out of him. From Shylock to Antonio. He was wont to call me usurer. Now wont here means accustomed. He was accustomed. He was used to call me a usurer. Now usurer is a person who deals in lending money at an unfair rate of interest. So he says, let him look to his bond. Now let us take care of his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. He used to lend money without interest as an act of Christian kindness. So that's what is written in the Bible, that you should never charge interest if you're giving money to anyone. If you're lending money to anyone, you should never charge the interest. Let him look to his bond. Again, he's warning him, letting him be careful to follow his bond in time. Salarino, why I'm sure if he forfeit, thou will not take his flesh. What's that good for? So Salarino is asking, if he is going to forfeit, that means fail to pay in time, then what good will it be to you? Is it any good of any good to you? It means here that is Antonio's flesh. Will it serve any good for you? He's asking Shylock. Here, Salarino is asking these questions because he wants to know the intentions of Shylock. Now, Shylock is very angry over here, and this is a very important speech of Shylock. He says, to bait withal. So he's saying to use it as a bait for fish. Bait means catching fish. When you catch fish, you put worms to catch fish in the fishing rod. So he's saying I can use it as a bait for the fishing. If it will feed nothing else, if it is going to feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He says I'm going to take that revenge. Now here he comes out with the truth that if he doesn't, he had disgraced me and hindered me 500,000. Means he has humiliated me, prevented me from making 500,000 ducats of profit. Laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains. So he used to laugh when I used to incur losses. Mocked at my gain means he used to make fun of me when I used to make any profit. Scorned my nation means despised my race. Thwarted my bargains. That means disturbed with my business deals. So whatever business deals Shylock used to do, so Antonio used to go and disturb. Cooled my friends and heated mine enemies. That means he affected my friends' affections and he instigated my enemies towards against me. And what's his reason? He's asking, what is the reason did he do with all this? Just because I am a Jew? He says there, I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affection, passion? So here he is asking, are we not the same? Don't we have eyes? Don't we have hands? Don't we have feelings? Dimensions means limbs. So don't we have passions? So he's asking why. We are similar to other people, then why did he treat us like that? Now here in this speech of Shylock, by this speech of Shylock, we sympathize with him, the way he has been treated. And that's when he was treated, he took an oath that he would definitely take Antonio by the hip. That is, he would definitely take revenge from him. Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons. So we feed the same food, we eat the same food as you do. Hurt with the same weapon, we get the way you get hurt with any weapon, we do also get hurt with the same weapon. Subject to same diseases, even we fall ill the way you all fall ill. Healed by the same means, and the same means, the same medications that you take, we also get healed the same way. Warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. So even you get warmed by the summer and you get cooled in winters. So we are just like the Christians. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you're going to prick us, then will the blood come out or not? Likewise, if a Christian is pricked, even he will bleed, and so do we. If you tickle us, do we not laugh? When you are going to tickle us, even we laugh, the way others, that is Christians, also laugh when they get tickled. If you poison us, do we not die? So, if you're going to poison us, are we not going to die? Are we not human beings, he's trying to ask. If you wrong us, shall we not revenge? So he's asking, is there any difference? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. Now that here refers to the revenge. If a Christian is wronged, he takes a revenge. Then if a Jew is wronged, something is done wrong to him, will he not take revenge? If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is the humility? So he's asking here, does the Christians show humility if he is wrong? According to the Christ teaching, Christians are to forgive their enemy and not take revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should be the sufferance be by Christian example? That means what should his attitude be if he is guided by the example which Christians give? Why revenge? The villainy you teach me, I will execute. He's saying the way you have, taught us the villainy, the way you take revenge, even I will do the same thing. I will execute and it shall go hard, but I will better the instructions. That means it will be strange if I cannot show my progress in the lesson I learned from you. So he's saying whatever we are doing now, we have learned from you. That's for it now, children. We will have the second part in the next video.